Hello nerds, it's Megan with Vigilante Vibes, and I'm here with another character breakdown. I said sometime last month that I'll be focusing on mutants for the next month or the foreseeable future, and I am here to live up to that. So the star of today's breakdown is none other than Illyana Rasputina, aka Magik. Illyana Rasputina first appeared in Giant Size X-Men #1, but that was just as Illyana, the cute blonde girl who is Colossus's sister. Her first time using the Magik code name was in New Mutants #14. Illyana Rasputina was the youngest of the Rasputin family, a sweet farm girl from Russia, and the cherished little snowflake of her parents and her big brother Peter. She was born about a year after their oldest brother Mikhail, a cosmonaut, was supposedly killed. But remember, this is comics, so is anyone dead? What the family didn't know was that Mikhail was actually a mutant and the government faked his death. So there you go. The heartbreak of losing him is what triggered Peter's own mutant powers. When Illyana was 5, Professor Charles Xavier, Professor X, came calling, inviting Peter to join his team of American mutants, the X-Men. Illyana, curious and bursting with energy, kept asking her parents if she'd get powers too and when she could go be with Peter. Turns out that happened sooner and in a much wilder way than anyone expected. After a robot version of Dr. Doom captured the villain Arcade, his assistant, Miss Locke, kidnapped Illyana, who was only 6 at the time, along with some other innocent people to force the X-Men into rescuing him. Not trusting Locke to play fair, a backup team of X-Men stormed Arcade's crazy lair, Murder World, and saved the hostages. Peter and Illyana missed each other a lot, so he got their parents to let her stay at Xavier's school for a bit. The X-Men were super sweet to her, especially Kitty Pryde, Peter's teenage crush, I guess would-be girlfriend if he had it his way. At the age of 7, she was kidnapped by the demon Belasco and taken to Hell Dimension of Limbo. There, Belasco manipulates Illyana into becoming his apprentice. He slowly corrupts her innocent soul, taking her black magic and creating 3 of the 5 bloodstones needed to summon the Elder Gods and unleash them on Earth. In the limited series Magik, Illyana learns white magic by Limbo's version of Storm, as well as hand-to-hand combat and swordplay by Limbo's version of Kitty Pryde. Her mutant powers also manifest, and she gains the ability to create teleportation discs. While planning how to take down Belasco, Illyana creates a magical weapon called the Soul Sword, which is basically forged from a piece of her own soul. She ends up defeating Belasco, kicking him out of Limbo, and taking over as its new ruler. Not long after, she returns to Earth, now a teenager, starts going by the name Magik, and joins the New Mutants. As she keeps using her soul sword, tapping into dark magic, parts of her body start getting covered in mystical armor, and a darker version of her called Dark Child begins to emerge. At one point, she teleports her team out of Limbo, but that accidentally opens the door for demons to spill into Earth. To fix it, Illyana sacrifices her powers and her Dark Child persona to send the demons back. Somehow, this causes her younger, fully human self to reappear as a child again. If things had stopped there, Illyana might have had a heroic story with a happy ending. But tragedy strikes. When she's 7, she contracts the deadly Legacy virus and dies. This is also the same virus that took out Psylocke. And that should have been the end of her story, until M-Day happens. Belasco, thinking he briefly saw her come back during M-Day, tries to bring her back. But instead of the real Illyana, he ends up resurrecting Darkchild, the twisted version of her with all the memories but none of her soul. Disgusted, Belasco rejects her. Illyana's Darkchild side has always been way more ruthless and brutal than her regular self. Without her soul, she even says she's basically darkness and hurt given form. Her words, not mine. There are still tiny glimpses of her humanity, but they're buried under all her pain and need for revenge. And honestly, Limbo has never seen anything scarier than a half-demon sorceress with nothing left to lose. That is terrifying. She'll do whatever it takes to get back at Belasco, even if it means using and hurting others along the way. In the new X-Men Quest for Magik arc, it's issues 38 through 41, Belasco pulls a group of younger mutants, the new X-Men, into Limbo to try to find the real Illyana. She uses the chance to forge a new weapon to replace her missing soul sword and go after Belasco. She even helps the new X-Men fight off his demons, then convinces Pixie to give up part of her soul to help save everyone. During all of this, seeing how the new X-Men protect each other starts to bring back Illyana's old memories. That sparks something in her, and she decides she needs her soul back. Not just to take down Belasco, but so she can finally face her brother and her old team as her full self again. From X Infernus through the end of Zeb Wells' New Mutants run, Illyana Rasputin is constantly battling enemies both outside and within herself. Some of her biggest fights are with the Witchfire, who is Belasco's daughter, Legion, who, if you don't know who Legion is, I'll make a video about it. There you go. And even the Elder Gods. On top of all that, she's dealing with serious trust issues from the younger mutants. Pixie especially thinks Illyana doesn't deserve a second chance, but her old teammates on the New Mutants still stand by her, partly because of their shared history and the fact that she literally died saving others. Deep down, Illyana struggles with believing she's just too far gone, that she's become just as bad as Belasco. But the fact that she's still fighting to reclaim her soul shows there's more to her than just darkness. Sure, she's made some rough choices and people have gotten hurt along the way, but she's also saved lives and managed to recover not just her own bloodstones, but Pixie's too. She's not your typical hero. She doesn't always do the right thing, but her determination to heal and to be whole again is very powerful. Illyana is one of those rare female characters who owns her dark side while still fighting for the greater good. As a mutant, she's committed to protecting her own kind. A great example of this is in Extraordinary X-Men, issues 1 through 16, where she tries to mentor Sapna, a young mutant with magical powers just like hers. At the end of Zeb Wells' New Mutants run, issue 21, Illyana says, "Even the worst of us wants to come home." It's a powerful moment that really sums her up. Illyana shows that no matter how much trauma you've been through, you don't have to run from it, or let it control who you are. She's not some perfect, squeaky clean hero, but she's not a total villain either. She's somewhere in between, caught between the horrors of Limbo and the real world goodness she's still fighting to protect. With her wild powers, her drive to help those who've been cast aside, and her constant battle with her darker side, Illyana Rasputin proves she's a hero you can't help but root for. So that is Illyana Rasputin, or Illyana Rasputina. I've seen it both ways. That is Magik. So, as usual, I have some comics for you to check out just so you can get to know Magik a little better. There's a current Magik run going on by Ashley Allen that I think really embodies who Illyana is as a character. So check that one out. It's titled Magik. Next one is Magik, Illyana and Storm. It's from 1983. It's a miniseries that first establishes her origin and also is a very good read. New Mutants Demon Bear, which has to do with Mirage. New Mutants A Date with the Devil. New Mutants Truth or Dare. New Mutant Dead Souls. Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. New Mutants by Jonathan Hickman Volume 1. So, that's all I have to say about Illyana Rasputin. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of these character breakdowns. And let me know in the comments what other comics we should check out to get to know Magik. Because all these comics I'm telling you about are just the ones I read. I'm no expert, so let me know. All of that being said, have a marvelous day.